The galaxy was vast, filled with countless species, each vying for dominance, survival, or simply a place to call home. Among them, the Xel'thari were a race of insectoid beings, ruled by a matriarchal hierarchy. Their queens were legendary, not just for their beauty but for their ferocity and intelligence. They were the apex of their species, the ultimate decision-makers, and their choices determined the fate of their kind. Queen Zynara was no exception. She was the youngest queen to ascend the throne in centuries, her exoskeleton shimmering with iridescent hues of blue and purple, her eyes like molten gold. She was the embodiment of power and grace, and her hive revered her. But Zynara had a problem, one that had plagued her for years. She could not find a suitable mate. The Xel'thari males, despite their strength and loyalty, were lacking. They were too subservient, too eager to please, and Zynara found them boring. She rejected every suitor that came before her, dismissing them with a flick of her clawed hand. Her advisors grew concerned. Without a mate, the hive would weaken, and the future of the Xel'thari would be in jeopardy. But Zynara was stubborn. She would not settle for less than perfection. The humans were a relatively new addition to the galactic stage. They were a curious species, full of contradictions, brutal yet compassionate, reckless yet ingenious. They had a knack for survival, often thriving in situations where other species would perish. It was this tenacity that brought them to the attention of the Xel'thari. When a human exploration vessel accidentally entered Xel'thari space, Zynara ordered it captured. She was intrigued by these creatures, their strange physiology, and their even stranger behavior. The crew was brought before her, and she studied them with a mix of curiosity and disdain. Among the crew was Captain Marcus Hale, a man of average height by human standards, but towering compared to the Xel'thari. His dark hair was tousled, his face marked by a faint scar running down his cheek. He stood tall, unflinching, even as the Queen's guards loomed over him. "You are bold for a human," Zynara said, her voice a melodic yet chilling purr. "Do you not fear me?" Marcus met her gaze, his blue eyes steady. "Fear doesn't get you very far where I come from." Zynara tilted her head, intrigued. The other males of her species would have groveled by now, but this human, he was different. There was a fire in him, a defiance that she found fascinating. Over the following weeks, Zynara kept Marcus close. She questioned him about his species, their history, their ambitions. He answered honestly, never shying away from the truth, even when it painted humanity in a less than flattering light. His candor was refreshing, and Zynara found herself drawn to him in ways she couldn't explain. But it wasn't just his words that captivated her. It was his actions. When a rival hive attacked, Marcus fought alongside her warriors, his ingenuity and resourcefulness turning the tide of battle. When a plague threatened her people, he worked tirelessly to find a cure, even at the risk of his own life. Zynara watched him, her admiration growing with each passing day. She had never met anyone like him, male or female, human or Xel'thari. He was strong yet compassionate, fearless yet humble. He was perfect. But Zynara was a queen, and queens did not beg. One evening, as the twin moons of Xel'thari cast their silvery light over the hive, Zynara summoned Marcus to her chambers. He entered cautiously, unsure of what to expect. The room was opulent, filled with treasures from across the galaxy, but his eyes were drawn to the queen herself. She stood by a window, her form silhouetted against the moonlight. "Tell me, Marcus," she said without turning, "what do you think of me?" Marcus hesitated. "You're unlike anyone I've ever met. You're strong, intelligent, and beautiful. But you're also lonely." Zynara turned to face him, her golden eyes narrowing. "Lonely? I am a queen. I have everything I could ever want. Do you?" Marcus stepped closer, his voice soft but firm. You have power, yes. But power isn't everything. You need someone who challenges you, who sees you as an equal. Not a queen, but a partner. Zynara's breath caught in her throat. No one had ever spoken to her like this before. No one had dared. And yet, his words resonated with her, stirring something deep within her soul. The days turned into weeks, and Zynara found herself increasingly torn. She knew what she wanted, what she needed, but her pride held her back. She was a queen, and queens did not beg. But Marcus was patient. He didn't push, didn't demand. He simply was. He was there when she needed him, offering his support, his strength, his unwavering loyalty. And slowly, Zynara began to realize that she couldn't live without him. One night, as they stood together on a balcony overlooking the hive, Zynara finally broke. "Marcus," she said, her voice trembling, I need you." He turned to her, his expression unreadable. "What are you saying?" "I'm saying," she took a deep breath, her pride warring with her heart. "I'm saying that I choose you. Not as a subject, not as a servant, but as my equal. As my mate." Marcus stared at her, his eyes wide with shock. Then, slowly, a smile spread across his face. "Zynara," he said, reaching out to take her hand, "I've been waiting for you to say that." Their union was unlike anything the Xel'thari had ever seen. Zynara, the fierce and untouchable queen, had chosen a human as her mate. It was a scandal, a revolution, and a testament to the power of love. Together, they ruled the hive, their bond unbreakable. Marcus brought new ideas, new perspectives, and under their joint leadership, the Xel'thari flourished. They became a force to be reckoned with, not just in their corner of the galaxy but across the stars. And Zynara? She had never been happier. She had found her equal, her partner, her soulmate. And though she would never admit it, she was glad she had begged. Epilogue. Years later, as Zynara and Marcus stood together, watching their children play in the gardens of the hive, Zynara turned to him with a smile. "Do you remember the first time we met?" she asked. Marcus chuckled. "How could I forget? You were terrifying." "And now," she teased. "Now," he said, pulling her close, "you're my queen." And in that moment, Zynara knew she had made the right choice. For in Marcus, she had found not just a mate, but a love that would last a lifetime.